Welcome to my students. Today we are going to discuss about the instruction formats of the instruction formats of any CPU. Okay, the CPU instructions are in assembly notation. That means the instructions are used to write the assembly language program of a particular CPU. Suppose you take Intel CPU of 8086. The instruction set specified for that is useful only to write the assembly language for that particular CPU. That's why the assembly language programs are machine dependent. Each CPU will have its own set of instructions and its assembly language programs. Suppose the assembly language program written for some processor will not be used for other processors. Because of that, it is called machine dependent. But in general, all the instruction formats will be of this nature. That is, instruction is divided into machine cycles first. Okay. Here, the instruction will be like this. The instruction format will be any instruction format. Instruction format means I mean to say assembly instruction. It is assembly language instruction. The first one is opcode, followed by the operands, operand 1, operand 2, and operand 3. Okay. Yet this operand 3 is optional. Many of the processor does not have operand 3. Most of the processors will use opcode, operand 1, and operand 2. But only very few processors, okay, will use operand 3. So because of that, I've written the maximum case. That means maximum number of operands will be 3. Operand 1, operand 2, and operand 3. Okay. Here, I want to explain about how the instruction will be and how the instruction is to be divided into different parts. Different parts in the sense, the parts of the instruction cycle or the parts of the instruction. Here, opcode is one part of the instruction, which is mandatory. If you take any instruction, the instruction must have the opcode. Without opcode, there is no instruction at all. Okay. Instruction must have the opcode. Generally, the opcode is used to define the functionality of the instruction. Suppose if you want to add the numbers, so the opcode will be add. If you want to subtract the numbers, the opcode will be sub, that is subtraction. Those are called mnemonics. Add, sub, okay. All these are called mnemonics. Okay. They are called mnemonics. Okay. They are the part of the assembly language. Okay. Here, opcode is one machine cycle. Similarly, operand 1 use another machine cycle, operand 2 use another machine cycle, and operand 3 is also use other machine cycle. Suppose if it is a 3 operand instruction, suppose the instruction has 3 operands, means that that instruction has 4 machine cycles. Okay. If the instruction has only opcode, if the instruction has only opcode, it means that it has only one machine cycle. So opcode is one of the machine cycle which is mandatory for an instruction. That means it is a must. Without opcode, there is no instruction at all. Okay. Then similarly, operand 1, operand 2, and operand 3 each have, okay, its own machine cycle. The machine cycles of operand 1, operand 2, and operand 3, okay, they are either read or write machine cycles. Okay. Operand 1, operand 2, operand 3. Operand 1 may be read cycle, read mission cycle. Operand 2 may be a write mission cycle. Again, operand 3 may also be a write cycle. Okay. Anything. Operand 1 may either read cycle or write cycle. Similarly, operand 2 may have maybe either read cycle or write cycle. Operand 3 is also either read cycle or write cycle. Again, in the read and write operations, okay, most of the things will be related to memory. Here, memory read and memory write. Memory read and memory write. But if the opcode is related to IO function, if the opcode, that is functionality, if the functionality is related to IO function, then the operand may have either IO read or IO write also. Okay, that depends upon the opcode. Okay. Then you will see the next slide. Okay, how it looked like. If the instruction has only one opcode, okay, it is called zero address instruction. If the opcode doesn't have any operands, if the instruction doesn't have any operands, if the instruction have only opcode, what do you mean that? It means that if the instruction have only opcode, okay, and it doesn't have any operands, instruction doesn't have operand 1, operand 2, and operand 3, only opcode is there. Such instructions are called one address instructions, okay, which are implementing implicit addressing mode. Okay. So the implicit addressing mode instructions will have only one machine cycle, or the zero address instructions will have only one machine cycle. That machine cycle is opcode machine cycle. Okay. Similarly, one address instruction means that the instruction will have opcode followed by operand 1. Only one operand is there. If only one operand is there, that is called one address instruction. Okay. It means that, okay, that instruction will have two machine cycles. One machine cycle is for opcode, another machine cycle for operand 1. Similarly, if the instruction is two address instruction, it means that it will have two operands. So in that case, okay, it has three machine cycles. One machine cycle for opcode, another machine cycle for operand 1, one more machine cycle is for operand 2. So totally three machine cycles are required for two address instructions. Similarly, for three address instructions, we require four machine cycles. Okay. So instruction cycle is divided into machine cycles. So one instruction cycle is divided into here either one machine cycle, or it may have two machine cycles, or it may have three machine cycles, or it may have four machine cycles, depends on the instruction. Okay. Then come to the instruction format, how it will be. Same. Here, before this, okay. Here, already I told that each machine cycle, okay. Already I told that opcode is one machine cycle, operand 1 will have one machine cycle, 2 and 3 will have other machine cycles. Okay. This opcode machine cycle is called opcode fetch cycle. Others, operand 1, operand 2, and operand 3 machine cycles are either read cycles or write cycles. Okay. Whatever may be the machine cycle, it has 4 T states. Okay. Here you see this. What do you mean by T state? Here, what is the T state here? T state is nothing but one clock pulse. Okay. One time period of the clock pulse. It is a clock pulse. It is a clock pulse train. That means so many pulses are there. It depends upon the frequency of the processor. Okay. Here, this is called one time period, on period plus off period. Okay. This is called one time period. Okay. This is called T state. T state means one, that is time period of this pulse is called T state. Okay. So such T states will be there in each machine cycle that you see here. Here, already as I told to you, opcode machine cycle, then operand 1 will have another machine cycle, that it will be shown here. Okay. How it will be? Here, this is the machine cycle 1. This is another machine cycle 2. Okay. This is machine cycle 1. This is machine cycle 2. Here, machine cycle 1 contains how many? T1, T2, T3, T4. That means machine cycle 1 contains 4 T states. Machine cycle 1 contains 4 T states. That is called fetch cycle. Fetch cycle means that is opcode. Fetch cycle deals with always opcode. Fetch machine cycle means always it deals with opcode only. Okay. Whereas operand 1 and operand 2, the operands are either read cycles or write cycles. Here you see this. This is mission cycle 2. Mission cycle 2, how many T states it have? T5, T6 and T7. So it will have 3 T states. So what you can understand from this? The mission cycle may have either 4 T states or 3 T states. The mission cycle will have 4 T states or 3 T states. Generally, the opcode fetch mission cycle will have 4 T states, whereas the read and write mission cycles will have 3 T states. Here like this. Okay, this is the second mission cycle which will have 3 T states only. Okay, which will have 3 T states. Read mission cycles and write mission cycles will have 3 T states, whereas the opcode fetch cycle, okay, will require 4 T states. This is for what processor? This is for 8085 microprocessor. If you take another processor, again, this scenario may be differed, but majority of the cases, this will be common. But in some of the processors, okay, it may be changed also. But whereas when you speak to a particular concept, okay, we will stick on to a particular processor. Why? Because it differed from processor to processor. Even the language will be differed. Language means instruction set will be differed. Okay, addressing modes will be differed. Okay, all the concepts will be differed little bit from processor to processor based on the design. So when you speak about or when you explain about a particular thing, we should be specific about a processor, or generally we can deal it, the general sense. That is only for the sake of concept. Okay, whatever you learn general, that will be only concept wise. When you go to a particular processor, again it may be, there may be a little bit variation, or it may be same thing. Suppose in one processor, move instruction will be MOV. In some other processor, it will be MOVE. Okay, that depends upon their designs and their whatever their languages. Okay, it is only general. It is only concept wise. Okay, is it clear? Now we are clear about what is T state and how the T states will be formed the mission cycle, and how the mission cycles will form into a instruction cycle like this. Okay, instruction cycle means which will have minimum one. The instruction cycle will have minimum 1 mission cycle, or it may have 2 mission cycles, or it may have 3 mission cycles. Okay, generally third operand will not be there in many of the cases, so it is only shown for the sake of understanding. Okay, not for the actual purpose. Okay, is it clear? Then, okay, this is called about instruction formats.